Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I'm super excited for this show today. When I tell you I love doing research. I love, finding out more information. I always thirst for more knowledge. When I tell you that when this story was brought to me, I could not wait to dive in as an educator and learn more about it. This episode today is a special episode because I've never, ever touched this subject before. But before we get to all of that, come on in, come on in. I need y'all to do my favorite thing. Hey, Steve, how are you? I need y'all to do my favorite thing, which is I need you to text. Hey, Jonathan, look at that. Transplant community is always together. Thank you all so much. I need you all to text, tell, tag somebody about this broadcast. I need you to text, tell, and tag. Don't be stingy and tell everyone about this because organ donation is very important. I am still on my mission to raise awareness, educate the multicultural community, and get 1,000 people registered to become an organ donor. So when this one came to me, hey, thank you, Jonathan, and hey, Phil, hey, everybody. So when this specific subject or topic came to me by my guest from last week, which was Mr. DeMarcus A. Graham. He connected my guest and I could not be more supportive. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I think I'm gonna need a secretary because my real life as a teacher and this real life as a host, I think I'm gonna need to get some help because I might need to start going, maybe recording and putting those other episodes out because Transplant Talk with Nashana is touching a lot of lives and it's thanks to all of you. I couldn't be more excited. So we might see what we have in the future. Maybe we come on more than once a week now. I told you all I will reign in 2022. So I'm super excited and glad about this opportunity. And everybody that's watching, you all know I love to know. One day I want to be able to find out where everyone is from all 50 states. So I would love to know that from all 50 states, where you're from, and if you're an organ donor, if you are a recipient, if you want to honor someone in your family that was an organ donor, I would love to have you on the show. So just make sure that you message me so that we can have this conversation. All right. So where's everyone from? And then if you would like to become an organ donor, donate lifeflorida.org. You see it right there. And once you complete all the information here, when you get to the bottom, click other and then say 1,000 lives. And part of that registry will be part of my mission. So, all right, I see my friends and family. Hello, Carol. Hello, Dad, Mama, in Mary Island, and for your mom and dad. Yeah, thank you. I see y'all. See my parents now. I don't like to start really without them. So I'm super excited that they are here and on the show. Now, if you have any questions, raise your hands or drop your hands or drop your questions so that we can get you the answers that you're looking for. Okay. So I hope that I'm sounding all right. And let me see while we're still dropping notes in here. All right, of course. So, of course, again, I am super excited about this opportunity. So, today we're still talking about transplants. We're just talking about them from a different side. This side is as equally as important as organ donation. So I need you to write down any questions that you have. I'm going to give you all the information pertaining to it. Do I have anyone tonight in the chat? Are you a registered bone marrow donor? Have you registered to give your bone marrow? And I'm telling you, this really excited me because I did not know the statistics for bone marrow. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to bring my beautiful guest on all the way from Gainesville, Florida. This is Mrs. Hendon. I want to make sure I said her name right. Miss Hendon, Miss LaKesia Hendon, and hopefully her daughter, Kaya, will join us. And again, guys, text, tell, tag, share this broadcast. You don't want to miss it because I just told Miss Keisha she hit the lottery. She hit the lottery when her daughter had this life-saving transplant. So I'm going to bring my guest on now. Of course, I got to bring out the red carpet for her. And just as soon as the red carpet is finished, we will welcome Miss LaKesia to the show. All right, Miss LaKesia, how you doing, lady?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
I am doing super great. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Y'all make sure that y'all watch this on YouTube. Please make sure that y'all click the link. I know Facebook is good, but we want to try to get monetized by the end of this year. So make sure if you have my YouTube channel. Hello, classmate. Hi. All right, from Palm Bay, Florida. So make sure that you be a part of our YouTube family as well. I would absolutely love that. Now let's get into this story. Okay, please let's get into the story. Now, before we get directly into it, Miss Keisha, let's get a little bit of background about you. Who are you?
My name is LaKesia Hendon. I'm married to Michael Hendon. I have one daughter, which is MiKhiya Hendon. I'm a twin. My mother is Teresa Porty, and we from Lake City, Florida.
Now we know that this was. I know we've all had our trying times, but I know that this episode is a special episode because we've never spoke about bone marrow transplants before. Now, real quickly, what was your knowledge about bone marrow transplants before this hit your daughter?
I had no really knowledge of bone marrow.
Mm, yeah. And so,
So I'm just like, a lot of other African Americans. I am a organ donor, but
mhm,
as far as the bone marrow, I don't have any knowledge of it. Was I registered for a bone marrow? No, ma'am, not at that moment. Mm-mm.
okay. So I just want to show some startling statistics. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you to Miss Warner. I called my girl and I said, I need to know some more information about bone marrow transplants. And we are going to have a special show in March where I'm going to bring her back. I'm going to bring the Heritons back and I'm going to have some other special guests to come on as well. But let me show y'all some of these statistics as soon as I can pull it up. Okay. Um, Now we talk about organ donation and how it's needed in the multicultural community, but bone marrow transplants or people to register to become a bone marrow donor is equally as important important. Let me show y'all these statistics that I got. Okay. Every 3 minutes, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. 480 people each day, 20 people each hour. You could be the cure. Okay. So if that wasn't alarming, I don't know what it is, but that wasn't all. But oh good. He said Texas. Okay, but that wasn't alarming. There are some other statistics that I'm going to share. But if you ever want to be a part of or thought about being part of it, um, we have I was speaking to my friends in Atlanta with BeTheMatch.org. And if you would ever consider it, so if you would like to be part of the registry, you would text Match for Life to 61474. So if you would like to be part of that registry, here's that information. And of course, I will put it up again, but this is very important. Very, very important. So, oh, I see our daughter has come on. Yeah, I know. Wow. Jonathan, we're not done. We are not done. We're gonna see if we could try to bring on her daughter so that you all can see the young lady of the hour. And but LaKesia, tell us what type of blood disease did your daughter have?
Her diagnosis was severe aplastic anemia / bone marrow failure.
Okay, okay. And I'm gonna bring her on, and then you all can kind of share the story a little bit because I know she's at. Oh, she just went away. I know she's at work, so I'm gonna jump on. But let me show y'all these other statistics because it's the educator in me. So I want you all to see. We know how rare it is in African Americans, Asian, and Hispanics. She just jumped on. She's coming, but I wanted to show you all this. So, in order for for African American, for them to find a possible match, it is 23%. Now, I don't remember when this was, but speaking with Stephanie, there was only a 29% chance that that person of African descent, Black person, would receive or find a match. As you can see right here in Caucasians, it's 77. Hispanics is 46%, and American Indian and Asian specific islanders 41, and in Indians 57. Okay, wow, like that is a lot. Okay, that is a lot. So I'm educating you today. I'm putting on both hats, my teacher hat and my host hat today, because this information just needs to get out. And I want to bring her on real quick just so that you all can see Miss Kaya. Hi, Kaya. Can you hear us, Kaya? I don't know if she can hear. Can you hear us, Kaya?
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Like
See,
you're breaking up.
I'm breaking it. Okay, I hope I'm not. Maybe that's just on your end. Um, okay. I don't know, Mom. Well, you all see her, and she did us a huge favor and came on. So at least you all could kind of see her face. But Mom, start us at the beginning of your journey with the bone marrow search.
Okay, for the search. The search started when MiKhiya, they was trying to jumpstart her immune system. So John Hopkins out of Boston, Massachusetts came on board, and he says, while you all waiting to try to jumpstart her immunity, go ahead and start looking for a transplant,
Okay.
looking for a donor.
Okay. Well, I
So
want to back up. I was too fast. I want to break up. I want to back up and start us at the beginning. How did you learn about all of this? How did you find out about her needing this? What did you see?
okay, so um, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, MiKhiya had been sick. Back then, in 2020, COVID had just hit, and she had symptoms of COVID. So she was very tired, very weak, sore throat, a little congestion, slight fever. So I treated her like she had COVID. The next morning, which was a Sunday morning, we woke up and I took her to urgent care. I took her to urgent care, and I told them that, I think she may have COVID because she had shown me so many symptoms of COVID. They tested her for COVID, which came back negative, but the doctor told me she wasn't going to waste a swab, that she had strep. So she had me to look down. I seen all the little, you know, the little white little pockets on her, her throat. And so they start treating her like she had strep. So by the time Thanksgiving came, she was so weak and just could hold her head up. She didn't come and eat out with the family. She actually ate in her room at her vanity. And she laid down, just laid around. And later on that evening, I asked her, would she take Miss Honey something to eat? And she said, yes, ma'am, I feel like it. But when she got up and she was starting to come towards me and she grabbed the plate, she went staggering, falling like she was drunk. So she was very weak, kind of disoriented, not a little bit, but she knew where she was at. And she said, Mom, grab the plate, catch me, I'm falling. So by that time, I snatched the plate from her, grabbed her around her waist, and just hold her, And so I came out. I was like, we're going to Shands. We're going to Shands. So I put her in the truck, and out the garage we went, headed to Shands. And when we got to Shands, um, they took us right on back. Um, Once they got that negative COVID test, everything went to flying.
Okay.
They had me signing papers and stuff like that. And with me being in the medical field, I'm like, okay, hold on, let's slow down a little bit. Y'all not telling me everything. I know that pink top she needs blood. So what's going on? And he says,
Mhm.
well, where you working? I said, I work at the VA. I work in the lab. Hey, I know that pink top. I draw it all the time. And he said, yes, ma'am. Her hemoglobin is like 5-6, like red at 6. And I said, oh, y'all better get her some blood quick, because she
Mm.
critical. And right
Mhm.
then it clicked in my mind, okay, so whole while that she's been so weak, she's been losing blood. Well, her body wasn't making any blood.
Mm. Wow. And we see her on there. Kaya, can you hear us?
Yes, y'all breaking up though a little bit.
But we can hear you just fine. We can
Okay.
hear you just fine. And I know you're on a little break, but can you tell us a little bit of your experience?
From the start,
Well, well, how did you feel once you received a transplant? How about that?
um, I felt stronger. I felt better, not weak.
Hmm.
When I received the transplant, I just thought of the lady. I was like, "Can we meet her?" Because she brought me back. Because I could have died. That's why I want everybody to donate their blood and come out to the thing and that we're gonna have and donate to the people that need a transplant because it's not easy at all and you just be feeling weak and it's not a good feeling.
Hmm.
So I felt relieved. I felt good and yeah, I'm back
You're
to the
back.
old Kaya.
You back to the new and improved Kaya.
But yeah, but I'm back feeling like normal. Not
Right.
all the way, but in some ways.
Were you able to go to school during this time?
No, not until I didn't go back to school until like October,
Okay.
November.
Okay. All right. So I know that that wasn't a great feeling, not being able to be with your friends, be around your friends. Um, you kind of want to give us more details about that. How were you able to just kind of keep your spirits up?
Um, okay, not being able to go to school, I would FaceTime Kalia, which is my friend that's in school. I'll FaceTime them while I'm home doing work and I'll
Mm-hmm.
be basically they'll sit me up in the class, but I'll be sitting by her in my seat
Mm-hmm.
and I just listen and it's basically like I was there but I wasn't.
All right,
Like we
virtual.
still joke and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
But it was hard. It was hard because you're not there and you're not learning for real.
All right. It's
So it was
virtual learning.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard. But I got through it.
You got what you say, stronger. You're stronger now.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I know you don't have much time because of work. So, you touched on it a little bit, but for somebody that's on the fence, about, becoming or being part of the registry, what would you tell them? What would you say to them?
Being part of the registry, the
Yeah,
registry.
to register to become a donor. How important is that to
Oh,
you?
do it. I suggest that you do it. Um, you will be blessed in so many ways if you
Oh,
do it. But if you scared of needles, just try to suck it up because the people who actually need cells and transplant, it'll be good. It'll come out good.
come on, good.
Um, Nobody won't never understand like the pain that people go through during a
Mm-hmm.
bone marrow transplant.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll just probably be like, oh, they'll get some cells one day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we really go through pain. Like it was really painful. So
Give us
I
some.
I just asked that. Say it
What
again.
what was describe some of your pain so people understand.
Um, when I had the what was it called, Mama? The the thing in my
She
arm.
had she had a pick line in her arm.
Oh, pick line.
They
Okay.
put her on
Okay,
a
I had
right because
I
of the
had a
drip,
pick
but then
line.
she had to have. Hmm. Go ahead.
I had a pick line in my arm, but it that I could have took. Like it wasn't painful. Like it was painful, but it wasn't when it first went in. But then I had I don't know what it's called. What is it called, Mom?
A port, a port in your chest, a port.
Okay, I had a port in my chest. That was painful.
Okay.
I couldn't move my neck or I couldn't lift my
Mm-hmm.
arms because it was right here
Hmm.
in my
Mm-hmm.
neck.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Dilated, no, that was a no for me. Some people may can handle it, but it was definitely a no for me.
You say no.
Um, yes, it was a no.
Okay.
I told them I didn't want it no more and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what else?
Tell her about when you had the drug from the rabbit.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for that.
Second,
The drug from the rabbit.
The drug
The
from the
drug from the
rabbit.
rabbit.
oh,
The rabbit.
that made me talk in my sleep. It made me say crazy stuff
Hmm.
that was not needed to be said. Um,
Oh wow.
that
Wow.
drug right there.
The
So I
rabbit,
don't
I
Kaya.
don't
The
even
rabbit.
remember.
right. So I don't know if y'all heard her say
Huh?
that, you know, I'm just letting the audience know about the drug from the rabbit. And then you also had another drug. And mind you, that these drugs were very expensive, very expensive. So they had to be very careful with this precious gold, I would call it, this blood
Yes.
for this, for Kaya, and her family. And someone says, her face lights up when she talks about, what it feels like to be able to be a recipient, of such of a life-saving transplant. And when we say life-saving transplant, and you just seen a statistic, 20 it's between 23 and 29% that African Americans would receive a match or a donor. Man, so when I say she hit the lottery, this family hit the lottery, they hit the lottery. Kaya, how much more time do you have, sweetheart?
Long as I be back in before 7:45 to help her close, I'll be good.
Okay. So I want to make sure, I want to go back to mom, because mom, you mentioned some of the trials, um and the blood that they gave your daughter. So you tell us about
Hmm.
the rabbit and the horse, and how much they cost.
Okay, so what they did was because they were trying to figure out what was wrong with her. They thought she had an autoimmune deficiency, something like lupus. They kept coming to me asking me, "Is it hereditary that someone in your family has lupus?" No, no, sir. This is not. Nobody in my family has lupus. This is not something that that's hereditary in my family. High blood pressure, things like that, is stroke, hypertension, things of that nature is common in my family, my immediate family. But they didn't know it. They was trying to jumpstart her immunity. So what they did, they gave her a drug from a horse. Um, that drug realized that it was into a human body and it did her in. After she got the drug, she broke out in hives all over. They had gave her a high dose of Benadryl, just wept, and it just went, crazy. So yes, I was very, very nervous. I didn't
So
sleep
wait,
for 3 days because of.
Keisha,
I'm sorry. Go
because
ahead.
we're getting questions. We're getting the questions.
Okay.
You said a rabbit and you said a horse, correct?
Right.
Right. So yes,
That's
Daddy. She
she got
said
the horse
a rabbit.
first.
The horse was first.
The horse was first.
Okay.
The horse
Yes.
she got in December.
Okay.
She got the rabbit from a rabbit in January, prepping up for the actually bone marrow transplant.
Okay. Okay.
So
Wow.
by them being so close together, they it's the rabbit. When she got the drug from the rabbit, it attacked her joints.
Mm.
So she could be sitting and then it'll get in her elbow, her shoulder, her hip, her knee. It will only attack the joints.
Okay. So questions are coming in. Right. So they're asking about the cost, and we talked about the cost and the names of these drugs, or the was it the blood from them, or um what did she receive, what did she receive from the rabbit, and what exactly did she receive, just so my audience is clear?
I would have the, you know what? I'm sorry that I didn't write this stuff down. It does
Okay.
have a name.
Okay.
I actually took a picture of it of the rabbit. I took a
Okay.
picture of the fluid, the IV fluid that they
Mm-hmm.
had for her, and on
Mm-hmm.
that it had high cost, high dollar cost drug. So basically, it was saying be extremely careful because I know looking at my statement from Blue Cross Blue Shield, the drug from the horse was $255,000 per bag, and she needed four because she had it for 4 days. She had a bag a day for 4 days, trying to jumpstart her immunity.
Wow. Wow. So was this given through her veins? Was it given through her veins, or how did she receive it?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. It's just like an IV fluid. Like if you got potassium or if you got an antibiotic IV, it's just like IV fluid.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. And so, Kaya, during this whole time, the fluids that you're receiving from the IV that you're receiving from the animals, they are not they're not really working for you.
Can you say it again? You was breaking up. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the when you receive, I remember what you just said, how you didn't well, when you receive the um the fluids from the animals, when they first told you that, what did you think about that?
I was just like, "What you giving me?" And they said the rabbit, and I said, "It comes from a real rabbit," and it was like, "Yeah," or something.
Mm, mm,
And I said, "Okay." this horse coming from a real horse?
Mm.
And they said, yeah. So everything came from a real animal.
Wow.
So it was weird.
It was,
And it made me feel a little weird. My bones would hurt and I would just be sore.
mhm.
But I just couldn't believe that an animal was going to my body.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. And I'm
So,
listening to it, so I couldn't imagine being there, having to see this with my own eyes that this is something that was going into my child. Um, my friend said you're a bionic woman. Again, please make sure that you all share, text, tell everybody about this because I never would have heard it. Was this experimental or is this something that they've done before, Keisha?
It's something that they done before. They have used it before to actually help jumpstart their immunity, thinking that her white cells will start back and she'll start building some kind of immunity to it. hmm But
Wow.
as a mother, you sitting there and you thinking, Lord, how much more can this body take?
Right.
You
Right.
know, if it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for the power of prayer, Lord, I don't know where would I be. I
Mm-hmm.
stayed prayed up. I kept praying. I kept saying, Lord, just give me the strength to endure all this. Give me the strength to actually, because Kaya was watching my face. She was watching the way I act. So I had to actually keep it together when I thought I was gonna fall apart.
Right.
hmm
Right. So and I understand because I'm a mom and I'm about to go crazy over here just thinking about it myself. And you just went through this, but we also shared that you and your husband wanted to, were part of the registry. You got tested to see if you could, help your daughter. And what happened when you did it?
Well, Mike and I both got tested. We was half a match to Mikhiya. Um, but when it started getting down to the genetics of it,
Mm-hmm.
three genetics she threw, two of them she got from him, and one she got from me. So with that being said, they didn't want to, you know, clean her body with the chemo and radiation, then to give her back me or him, and then she had a failure again. So that's when they started looking into our sibling children, and
Mm-hmm.
then they was looking for actually donor.
Mm.
hmm because
Wow.
Makai is the only child.
mhm.
Right, right. So, of course, you want to be able to reach out to family members to see, if they are a match and to be able to help in such dire straits because this is your baby and you want to do everything to save her life. Um, I, I totally,
Absolutely,
I
absolutely.
totally understand. We'll do
Yeah.
anything. We'll do anything for our babies. So I wanted
Oh,
to
of
go.
course, of course. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I wanted to go back from our talk on yesterday. You were because you worked at the VA. You went to get her some medication, and you gave me the price of how much you paid, or your insurance had to pay for 30 pills for her. Can you tell the audience about that?
Okay, so in the process of them trying to jumpstart Micaiah, it was a drug that is called Promacta.
Mhm.
Promacta they use in the hospital, but this is a high dollar drug. The nurse, after the doctor talked to me and talked to my nurse, they came in and told me, Miss Hendon, we need you to go downstairs and get this medicine from the pharmacy. So I'm like, okay, I'm very compliant because of the fact, hey, I want my baby better. So I go downstairs, but in my mind, on my way downstairs, now this just crazy to me.
Mhm.
We impatient and we gotta go downstairs and pay for medication. This should all be billed through insurance, so we should be able to get it. So when I get down there to the pharmacy, I asked the pharmacist, I was like, hey, listen, I'm just curious. I ain't never paid $60 for a copay out of the whole 13 years I've been at the VA. I'm just curious to know how much is this drug? And she says it's $28,000, but once you make your copay, it'll be $27,000. I say, ma'am, let me slide my card, give me my baby medicine, thank you.
Wow. Wow.
So
So
yeah, that drug for 30 pills was $27,000.
$27,000 for a 30-day supply of pills. And how many months did she have to take
Promactin.
it? How many months did she have to take it, or was it just a 30-day period?
Believe it or not, they end up this DCing it with discharging it off, from her taking it. I still got a half a bottle, well over half a bottle. They stopped it. So
Okay.
she
So
didn't even take it 30 days.
wow. And that was over $27,000 for the. Let me tell y'all
Yes,
something.
ma'am.
Y'all better have some good insurance because that is a lot of money. And I remember going to Walmart, not Walmart, but Walgreens trying to find um or getting the medication for my late husband. And that lady told me, that'd be $15,000. And I said, what? I'm sorry? Like what? And I think it's so sad when people have to make a choice between feeding their family, paying a mortgage, or getting medication. So I know and hi everybody that's jumping on. I know all the comments are coming and I am loving it. Thank you. So the day I want to, because I know she gotta go. So the day, Keisha, that you received the call that you had someone that was going to save your daughter's life, how did that change your life?
I feel like the world was lifted off my shoulders. I was just praying and trusting God. I felt really, really relieved. Um, it's almost unexplainable because to sit there and watch Kaya body half lifeless, knocking at death's door. Um, it was very hard. It was very hard. Um, I was praying that she didn't back out. I was praying that, because it's like, I want to say 3 to 4 days that she have to take a medication that it would inject her um, to actually get her body to produce more
Uh-oh. Let me see. I see Kaya. I think you're breaking up a little bit. Okay. Um, while we're getting, y'all know technology is disrespectful. Go ahead, Keisha. Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. No. Let me see. Hold on. You're
Her
mute.
mic is muted.
Yeah, I see. But Kaya, thank you. And I know you're going back to work, but thank you so much for sharing your story, Kaya.
You're welcome.
I definitely appreciate it. And I hope we can have you back on the third, um, so that we can get more of this story out. So,
Okay.
all right, you go back to work. Thank you. We're gonna talk again. We're gonna have a part two.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. All right, guys. Wow. The beautiful Kaya is going back to work. Now, y'all see why it's so important to become a donor, or become part of the registry. You see that young lady, she went back, she's going back to work. All right. So if you're thinking about it, be the
yes.
match.org. And also, if you would like to become part of the registry, please text Match for Life to 61474. And that was, I'm going to leave that right there. And yeah. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a part two, Sadria. It's definitely going to be a part two. And that part two is going to happen on March 3rd because everybody that I asked has already said yes. And we're going to, y'all know me, I got to make sure that it's going to do what it do. And it definitely will. So March, definitely with Women's Month, we're going to be there. And please, guys, if you're thinking about beatthematch.org, become a donor. But you also, we're getting ready to wrap up here. You told me two things. You told me that when you seen the medical bills, you were at $1.2 million.
Yes, ma'am. I am.
Right.
And
Yes.
counting.
And counting.
People, they look at, they think, they supposed to have this kind of insurance. They supposed to have this, they supposed to have that. But what we don't realize is you could have all the insurance you need. It's always some underlying, just a little thing that could stop. Now, Shan's is a teacher hospital. Some of the drugs that they was using, the insurance classified them as experimental drugs. It's really not experiment. This is what has worked. This is what has helped other patients that had the same thing as Kaya. The insurance classified as experimental drug. Do they pay for it? No. That has to come out our pocket, or sometimes I have actually called the manufacturer and talked to them. Right.
Right.
And once I talked to the manufacturer, I explained my situation. I did a financial affidavit, and things worked in my favor.
Okay. God bless you. So, and thank you for being the mom that you are, for constantly being there for your daughter. I know you share with me. So I want him to stop. All right. So, but you told me.
Listen, it's one person in here said, so I can sell the rest on the low. I
Yeah.
will give it to you. I
But,
wouldn't sell it. I will give it to you because
wow.
I don't mind helping. I actually reached out because it's some things like the little kits that I had to pay for Kaya. When I brought her home, it took me about $650 a month just to have her at home, to take care of her, to flush her line, her medication, to change her dressing, all that.
Mm.
Still have some things I would donate it. I would give it
Oh, wow.
to keep somebody else from not having to pay for it.
Wow. Wow. So everything you said, and everyone that has ever had that has received a life-saving transplant, all those words that you said, those are the words that happened in this transplant, community, having to change dressing and, making sure that the materials are there, everything that you needed to do. I heard you say a pick line, all of those different things, they are definitely go hand in hand with organ donations, right? My goodness. And he said you have a beautiful, beautiful spirit. Yes. You should. She was so, when I tell you, she's shy, she was shy until all of this. She explained to me that she was not the talker at all until she had to step into this role and be a caregiver for her daughter. And you said that you thank God for this experience. Can you elaborate on that? Can you hear me?
I do.
Okay. Take your time.
It actually kind of faded in, but I kind of know where you're going with this. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I thank God for her sickness because, for one, it showed me who people are. Sometimes, as long as you a benefit to someone, you're good. But when your back is against the wall, where are those people at? Um, it sometimes I thought of, no matter how you feel about me, this is an innocent child. This is a child that haven't even lived her life. When Kaya got sick, she was 15 years old. So no matter how you feel about me, what do you feel about a child? An innocent child. My child is not a child that be out in the streets. My child is not a troubled child, a problem kid. My child is raised up in a home with her mother and her father. Um, she has the only child syndrome. So I mean, what can you expect, But I thank God because it just opened my eyes up to um a lot of situations. And if it taught me nothing else, it taught me how to trust in God. It taught me how to pray harder, be specific at what you pray for, be sincere of what you ask for, and I turned my fears into faith. I
Absolutely. I
started
love it.
believing. I started
Mhm.
believing, and it just, I just said, I kept saying, Lord, please don't do this to me. Please, I don't know if I can take this, but however you see fit, let your will be done. If you
Mm.
choose to take her home with you, I know that it wasn't because you're not the God that we all worship, but you had other plans for her. But
Mhm.
just don't do that to me right now because I'm not ready for it. But if I
Right.
am, just hold me up and keep me strong to endure whatever you bring in my way.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yes, sometimes I still get teary-eyed because I'm
Mm.
so thankful, I'm so grateful. But I trust it and I believe in His word, because in His word
Amen.
He said, "By His stripes we shall be healed." So I kept saying,
Absolutely.
Lord, you said in your word, it ain't about what man say; it's about what you said. So
That's
I'm
right.
gonna put my faith in you. I'm gonna believe in you. I'm gonna trust you, and I know you're gonna bring me out because you brought my grandmother out that had COVID, and she was 80 years old, and they called us in and was talking about um the end of life. My
Mhm.
grandmother came out. She was talking, singing, laughing, everything.
Amen.
I had a friend that was very sick with lupus. She didn't even know who I was. She didn't know nothing. And she was, in her 40s. And I said, Lord, I know what you did for them. So if you
Mhm.
did that for an 80-year-old, you did that for my friend. I know what you could do for my daughter.
There you
So I
go.
just
Yes,
believe.
yes.
I just believe and I trust and I thank God for what He has done for us. And my
Amen.
Salvation Church family, they kept us lifted up. Pastor Tyrone White out of Deep Creek, Evangelist Janet Stockton, my bishop. We had many people out there praying for us. I
Amen.
feel like this. We flooded the gates of heaven with prayers.
What you say? Okay.
And
I
he showed out and
appreciate
he showed us
you.
his favor. Yeah, we
I
flooded
appreciate you.
heaven. We
Okay.
flooded heaven.
Look,
I'm gonna
Keisha,
say this
thank
one
you.
thing. This one more
Yes,
thing.
yes, ma'am. Go
I
ahead.
got, I got two more things to say. I believe in church tithing, and people think tithing has to come back in a money form. But tithing gave my daughter a new life, another
Mm,
chance at life. Because sometimes I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming to be perfect. Because, like I told you once before, sometimes this mouth could get so ratchet. Like, I don't even know who Jesus is. And
mm,
I come right back to my amen corner, but I know who God is. So God is still working with me, but I believe in church tithing. And and I pay my tithes. My daughter pay her tithes, and she's only right now she's 17 years old, but she would go and pay her tithes faithfully.
Okay.
And I thank you because God gave my baby another chance at life. My second
Yeah.
thing of it is we're gonna have a community appreciation outreach day. Um,
Mhm.
thanking the community for all acts of kindness shown to Kaya and our family at the time of need. We're gonna feed the community. Lifestyle Blood Mobile will be there on site
Oh
to
wow.
for people to donate blood. BetaMatch.com gonna be there on site for you to join the registry. And we want everybody to come out. So if you know somebody in Lake City or you live in the surrounding counties of Columbia County, come out. Bring your family, fellowship with us. Let us show you that we appreciate you. You know, we appreciate your prayers. We appreciate your thoughts. We appreciate everything. Even if you didn't pray for us, thank you.
No.
God had a plan for the Hendons. So we
There you go.
thank you still. Come out, celebrate, and our goal is to save at least one life if we don't save many others.
There you go. Just one. Even if it's just one, you've
Just
done
one.
something.
Just
And
one.
what
If we
day?
get one pint of blood, that's
Yes.
not with me.
And what day will the community outreach be?
It will be February the 12th on a Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Columbia High School Stadium.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here. Make sure that you all go out and support. You want, oh man, just such a to give back, just be able to give back for all the love and support that they receive for her daughter. And again, this was a story like no other, and I really would love for everybody to please go to betamatch.org. I have colleagues and co-workers that said that they are part of the registry. They never got called. And again, I can't stress this enough that to be able to be a donor, let me make sure I move this out of the way, that in African Americans, the number that was given 23%, it's a 23%, 23 to 29% chance that an African American would receive, this life-saving transplant, where it's 77% in Caucasian Americans. So, those statistics alone, it's startling. Like my jaw dropped when I saw those numbers. So thank God that you hit the lottery and God blessed you. God smiled on you and he blessed you. And again, thank you for your testimony. Thank you, Ms. Powell. All tears of joy. Absolutely. So please make sure that you all go out on that day of February 12th and support this family and just they're appreciating you, so you go appreciate them. And guys, thank you everybody for watching. And again, this is part one. We're going to have a part two where we will have Miss Aisha Warner and we will have Miss Stephanie Fisher, and we are going to talk again about bone marrow transplant. So until next week, well, my special guest, let me go ahead and let me see if I still have his name here. Okay, yes. So my special guest will be Mr. Philip Harris Jones. You see him right here on February 3rd. He will be my guest next week. And so tune in again next week for another great show. Very informational. I love to be able, this is why I love doing this. This is why I do transplant talk, because we have to educate the masses. So please make sure that you text, tell, and tag someone, and make sure that you share this video. And remember, organ donation, and now we can add bone marrow, is not only saving lives, but it changes lives. So thank you all again for being a
Yes,
part of
ma'am.
Transplant Talk with Nashonda LaKesia. I'm going to ask you to stay right there. And again, thank you for everybody. Yes, Philip, I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you, Jim, for sharing. All right, we're going to start a new trend, LaKesia. We're going to make sure that people know the necessary need for African Americans or the multicultural community, why we need to get involved with bone
Mm-hmm.
marrow. All right. All right. So thank you. Thanks, Dad. Um, So congrats on the community outreach. I hope it don't be too cold, y'all. Okay, y'all pray for us in this part of Florida, North Florida, because we're gonna get the cold sweep this weekend. So I'm gonna be in the house because we ain't going nowhere in this cold. So God bless you all. Until next week. God bless you all. And oh wait, we keep getting I keep getting comments. Yes. So and I'm gonna be on his show too. So a second chance on YouTube. So make sure that you all watch that as well. Drop that link in the message, Philip. All right. So until next week, God bless you all and good night.